I feel at the 135 would probably be Gervonta Tank Davis. But the most skillful fighter at 135 will be hands down Shakur Stevens.
Floyd Mayweather has just taken brutal shots at Davis Live. Floyd is set to make his return to the ring this summer in a rematch against John Gotti Izzy, the grandson of the infamous late mob boss, alongside the bout poster. Floyd posted a message on Instagram saying UNF had finished business. On August 24th, Mayweather views Gotti's third rematch in Mexico City. This is something you don't want to miss. When the 47-year-old met Jeff fought for the first time in June 2023, the bout ended in mayhem as a riot broke out as spectators flooded the ring. They were originally scheduled to meet again on Super Bowl weekend in Las Vegas, but the fight will now take place in Mexico on August 24th. In addition to this, Floyd recently weighed in on the Jake Paul versus Mike Tyson fight. At first, he refrained from criticizing the fight. The five-weight world champion even defended both Paul and Tyson, commending the YouTuber for his innovative approach. Floyd said what he's doing against Mike Tyson is kind of cool if he can continue to steal money and they match him the way they match him. I can't knock his hustle considering that Tyson postponed the fight for 4 months due to a stomach ulcer. Paul's ability to market the event has been remarkable in discussing his strategies. In a previous bout, the influencer encouraged professional fighters to actively promote themselves to achieve similar financial success. He said, "We live in a different boxing world now, in a different digital age in general, and it's the fighters' responsibility now to promote themselves. And once they realize that instead of sitting around on the weekend and playing video games in between the training sessions, they have to be on TikTok and making YouTube videos. Just hustle." On the other hand, we know that Mayweather is celebrated for his unparalleled defensive prowess and holds the record as the most precise puncher in the CompuBox era. The multiple world champion had a ton of excellent opponents, and great opponents are necessary for greatness. When it comes to the toughest opponent he's ever encountered, money refers to none other than his rival in the battle for greatness. During his appearance on the $1 Million Game podcast, Manny Pacquiao elaborated on this. He said, "The best fighter I ever fought was probably Manny Pacquiao. It's because of his movement. He's a hell of a fighter, and I can see why he won so many fights and why he's going down as a Hall of Famer. It's just that he makes certain moves." Fans won't be shocked to hear this, as the Filipino sensation is destined to be remembered as one of the all-time greats in boxing history. Pacquiao, a world champion across an unprecedented 8-weight division, achieved 13 world title victories and successfully defended his title 10 times. No other fighter has come close to matching these remarkable feats. It's widely acknowledged that Pacquiao was beyond his prime during his 2015 clash with Mayweather. This added to the frustration, as the bout would have been monumental if it had occurred when initially proposed in 2009. The American fighter's meticulously honed defense was the highlight of the match, leading him to secure a unanimous victory in Las Vegas. Meanwhile, Floyd recently talked about the best fighters in the current era. Given his position, he holds valuable insights on the subject and was recently approached by Boxing Maine to share his perspective on who currently reigns as the pound-for-pound king. He highlighted a few names that he believes are near the summit.
Right now, in your opinion, who's the best fighter in the world?
At one particular time, I did talk about. I did say Terrence Crawford.
Okay.
Now, but what are we rating these fighters on? What are we rating these fighters on?
Floyd Mayweather's eyeball test.
I look at it like this. Tank did the same thing Terrence Crawford did to Gamboa. So now you have to
But Gamboa was much younger at the time.
But guess what? There's a difference because Terrence Crawford is a much bigger fighter than Gervonta.
Moreover, Floyd mentioned that Tank could be considered among the top 10 pound-for-pound fighters, emphasizing that Davis should be included somewhere in that ranking. He also acknowledged Canelo's remarkable achievement of moving up to light heavyweight and becoming the champion, something Floyd hadn't anticipated Canelo would accomplish. Ultimately, Floyd decided to place Terrence Crawford at the top of his pound-for-pound list, considering him the #1 fighter at that moment.
We can put Tank up there in the top 10 in pound for pound. He has to be somewhere in pound for pound. And Canelo done something that is amazing when Canelo was able to go to light heavyweight and become light heavyweight champion. Something that I didn't even see him going up that heavy, and he did that. So, but as of right now, I have to put Terrence Crawford as.
Since handily defeating Errol Spence Jr. in July of last year, Crawford has not engaged in combat. He now holds the 4 major welterweight championships as a result of that victory. The following bout on August 3rd, he plans to try his hand at 154 livs. Israel Mov will be his opponent at the new weight. If he manages to overcome that challenge, there's a strong desire among fans to witness him square off against Saul Canelo Alvarez. While the weight gap between these two titans could pose a significant obstacle, it remains a potential path for him to solidify his position as the undisputed pound-for-pound champion. We know that Davis reaffirmed his status as a boxing luminary with a decisive 8th-round knockout victory over Frank Martin. This commanding performance silenced any lingering doubts among critics who had questioned his form following a year-long absence. Davis appears steadfast in his commitment to the lightweight division, showing no inclination to move up in weight. His immediate plans likely include pursuing title unification at 135 libs with an eye towards achieving undisputed champion status. As the ultimate objective among the remaining champions in his weight class are Vasyl Lomachenko, Shakur Stevenson, and Dennis Berwick. In the realm of potential opponents for Tank, one name continues to gain traction: Vasyl Lomachenko, the esteemed 2-time Olympic gold medalist and boxing virtuoso. While the bout remains in the negotiation phase, enthusiasts speculate fervently on its potential outcome. Will Lomachenko succumb, like so many before him, to Davis's relentless aggression, or could the Ukrainian maestro defy expectations, closing his illustrious career with a monumental victory? Amidst these ponderings, insights from those who have shared the ring with both champions become invaluable. Recently, Fight Hype seized the chance to interview Robert Merriweather, a sparring partner of Vin Davis, offering a unique perspective on the matter. The journalist questioned Merriweather, "So they're talking about Vin versus Lomachenko? I mean, obviously you've been in the ring with Tank. Is Lomachenko a tougher fight?" He openly acknowledged the formidable skills of Vasyl Lomachenko in the ring. Merriweather speculated that despite facing formidable opponents in the past, there was a possibility that Vin Davis could rise above them in resilience. Nonetheless, he remains steadfast in his choice of Davis for the victory. What led him to this conclusion? I mean, there's a lot of things that you still haven't seen, suggested Robert Merriweather. He further added, Vanna has the IQ. Like, people don't see that he has IQ in the ring. It's not just a power punch, and he's not going to go out there and just throw everything. It's not like that. He sets up his shots, and he knows when to throw, where to throw it, and he's quick, he's fast. Therefore, the Baltimore native appears poised to claim victory. However, the 19-year-old rising star harbors reservations. He believes that unlike his previous bout with Frank Martin, his upcoming clash against Lomachenko could extend beyond the norm. This skepticism stems from Davis's reputation as a slow starter, potentially taking it easy in the initial rounds. Compounding this issue, Merriweather points out that the Matrix employs a similar strategy in his fights, so we'll see when it comes up. He concluded, certainly the Davis-Loma duo holds promise for a substantial payday. For many observers, it evokes memories of the legendary 1982 clash between Aaron the Eagle Pryor and the esteemed Alexis Arguello. When it comes to Davis, one thing stands out clearly: his dominance and power, with an impressive track record of finishing nearly 93% of his fights with knockouts. He has established himself as a force to be reckoned with in the ring. On the opposing side stands a seasoned 36-year-old veteran known more for his strategic prowess than his knockout record of 12 wins. This cunning Ukrainian may boast a superior amateur background, but when it comes to the bright lights and substantial purses of professional boxing, Davis reigns supreme. Explaining the difference, Stephen A. Smith recently said, Lomachenko is a brilliant tactician and a brilliant boxer whose footwork is magnificent, very experienced, etc., etc. My issue with Lomachenko is that I don't know if Lomachenko has the power to stop Davis, which means that we'd basically be watching the fight to see if he will outbox Vin or if he'll survive. In essence, LMA could potentially extend the fight against Tank by evading traps and avoiding the ropes. However, this strategy may not hold indefinitely, considering he's not the same prime Lomachenko anymore. With his tendency to move around the ring, there's a risk of him tiring out over time. Therefore, the Olympic medalist must strategize with his team moving forward. Meanwhile, Tank's co-trainer Kenny Ellis confidently predicts a knockout victory, boldly declaring that LMA won't make it to the 12th round. Ellis has started to watch L's fights in an effort to develop a strong enough strategy that will result in not only a win, but a knockout. Ellis commented on social media, Phase 3 studying Lomachenko. Why all of a sudden are these Lomachenko highlight videos popping up? Are they supposed to be intimidating or something? He won't see the 12th with Dant Davis. It would certainly mark a significant achievement for 29-year-old Tank. If he were to be the first to knock out or defeat Lomachenko decisively. However, the question remains, can Len Eno frustrate, outmaneuver, and confound Tank as he has done with numerous other opponents? Loma, with a record of 183, has faced formidable punchers in the past without ever being seriously threatened, yet Tank's blend of skill and renowned power adds another layer of intrigue to this potential Southpaw versus Southpaw clash. Loma also possesses considerable power. His precision and the relentless accumulation of his punches can inflict significant damage. It would certainly be astonishing if LMA managed to stop Tank. Let's remain hopeful that this bout materializes. It's a fight we all eagerly anticipate regardless of the outcome. On the other hand, Adrian Broner are prominently featured on the ring apron in the video, while Mayweather takes center stage in the ring with aspiring champions alternating between referee and hype man roles. Many people responded angrily to Mayweather once the video was made public, believing it to be the legendary boxer's way of jabbing at Davis. Meanwhile, Devon's father Bill Hayes said that Mayweather had leaked the material back in May, since Mayweather and Bill Haney just got into a heated argument on a live Instagram video that included some bizarre name calling. It's difficult to guess what his long-term objectives are. And call Fox, a professional boxer, had harsh words for Mayweather. He said Floyd released Tank and Haney sparring when he spent his whole career not letting people record his sessions. That's corny. Isa Smith, a former fighter and close friend of Mayweather, was questioned about his thoughts on Mayweather posting the footage. Smith's criticism was far more detailed. Mayweather's recent decision to replace Mayweather Promotions president Leonard Ellerby with Richard Schieffer was one of the more unexpected moves. Smith claims that Mayweather took this action as payback for Love's ongoing backing of Davis. Smith said, "What do I think about the Tank and Devon sparring video? Absolutely nothing. It's sparring. I felt the same way when Paul Spatak for had a good day against FM happens. Why are we putting so much stock in sparring?" Smith further added, "Floyd is such a petty individual. I have no insight, but I've known that for over 3 decades. The company has been failing, and no change from him. It was always them two, Floyd and Leonard, together like sugar on grits." Floyd told Leonard to pick a side. When he didn't, he chose to do some petty and blindside that man. This wasn't calculated and a firing. It was a petty firing from one side. If Mayweather steps away from guiding Davis' career, he might find himself excluded from future decisions. Speculation suggests Mayweather's recent posting of the sparring session could cast Davis in a negative light, although it seems doubtful that they will fight because of their age gap. Fans and analysts alike find the concept intriguing. Make sure to check out some of our other videos on the screen if you enjoyed this one.